We have big news. We have a new video showing Alex Pretti, the man shot by law enforcement in Minnesota, fighting with law enforcement about a week before the actual incident of his death. I'm going to play you this clip. I'm not going to do too much more. If you're new here, subscribe. I'm going to play you this clip. I have a lot of pretty strong thoughts on this from a political perspective, so I'll show it to you, and then we'll come back and discuss.
Look at you! Pepper spray, bitch! Fucking assault me, motherfucker! Fuck you guys! Fucking trash! Fucking trash!
This is a moment the news movement filmed on January 13th in Minneapolis, showing a man who appears to be Alex Pretti interacting with federal immigration agents 11 days before Border Patrol shot and killed him. Our footage was analyzed by the BBC, whose facial recognition technology confirmed his identity to a 97% degree of accuracy. On the morning of January 13th, our team received a tip that federal agents were blocking a street at the corner of East 36 and Park Avenue in Minneapolis. We arrived around 10:15 a.m. We saw observers shouting at the agents as they walked back to their vehicles. When they started driving away, the man kicked their taillight. An agent then got out of the vehicle, grabbed him, and pushed him to the ground. During the altercation, agents fired tear gas and pepper balls into the crowd. They continued to hold the man down before they retreat, and he walks away.
Let me be absolutely clear. Fighting law enforcement, especially while you have a gun on you, is not smart. Let me also be clear. It is not relevant to the circumstances of his death. It's not relevant to whether or not the officers were justified in shooting him. And I know this is a bigger topic of discussion, and I know I'm typically a Second Amendment channel, and I focus on Second Amendment issues, but honestly, this is a broader rot in our political discourse. What are we talking about here? It's not actually, the interesting thing about Alex Pretti isn't that he fought ICE officers a week ago. No, implicitly this is being used to justify the shooting. Obviously it is. That's obviously the point. Same thing by saying, he's a good guy, he's an ICU nurse, he helped veterans. That also is, again, trying to be evidence for saying that the shooting wasn't justified. Neither of them are relevant. The only thing that's relevant is at the moment of the use of force, were the officers in fear of their life, in fear of a felony being committed upon their person, in fear of grievous bodily injury being committed upon another person around them, or in fear of grievous bodily injury being committed upon themselves. That's all that's relevant. And all this stuff just seeks to obfuscate that and complicate that entire situation. The reality is, it is actually a simple case. It is, 2 minutes of video, and really the last 3 seconds that are relevant, right? And there's a real-time analysis of it and a not real-time analysis of it. Now, I've already done the analysis of it. You can see the officer in the gray shirt kind of take the gun away before he's been shot, and I discussed some possible defenses. But essentially, I think you have some possible defenses, but I think it looks really, really bad. Again, that's just what my view on the topic. But none of this stuff is relevant. Like why? Everyone must know this is stupid, right? I don't know. Maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong. But it seems to me everyone is constantly being stupid in American politics all the time on purpose. Like, take the suppressor issue, for example. Okay, everyone knows suppressors aren't dangerous. And somehow, whenever we try and get suppressor bans off the books, everyone somehow wants to pretend like this is going to increase crime. Like, it's not. It's not. I know it's not. Why are we pretending? Why are we pretending this is relevant? This is not relevant to the case. It is just not. It is just not relevant in any way, in any world, to the case and to the actual fact of the matter. It just isn't. It just isn't from a factual perspective. And so we have this a lot. This is one on the right wing. I prefer calling this sort of stuff out on the right wing, because if I call it out on the left wing, it just seems like I'm still, dishing on my opponents. But we do this too. This is ridiculous. Like, this is just stupid. Like, it's so unintelligent. It's so unintellectual. It's so against obvious principles. It's insane. And it's just not relevant again. So I don't know. It kind of always gets me to think, like, are we intentionally being stupid? Are we intentionally being stupid? Or are we just stupid? Like, does everyone know this is stupid? Like, you see this? Does everyone go, oh, okay, that justifies the shooting? Or does everyone go, oh, okay, that tells us a little bit more about the person, but actually, that's not at all relevant to the facts around the shooting? Because that's what's actually true, right? This is not actually relevant to the facts around the shooting. This doesn't tell you whether the shooting was justified or not. All really, if you watch from the video, all that's really relevant is whether or not the officer saw the guy in the gray shirt remove the firearm before he shot. That's what's relevant. That's That's what's relevant. The officer did remove the firearm before Alex Pretti was shot. The only question is whether or not the officer who did shoot him thought he had a gun and was about to use it. That's all. That's it. That's the entire case right there. That's all. Right? You have some, other factors, but they don't necessarily seem relevant in this particular instance, right? That's pretty much what this case boils down to. And so why as a collective country, why are we trying to be stupid? I mean, I know our leaders are stupid, and they do stupid stuff constantly, right? And that's really frustrating to see. But why are we being stupid, right? Like there was a time, right, where you would have Tucker Carlson on Rachel Maddow before my time, but there was a time. There was a time when you have like Mark Smith on CBS, right, like from the Second Amendment perspective, and he's now returning to that. But he at one point was on with Rachel Maddow. You had Ben Shapiro on Piers Morgan. You had a lot of these right wing figures on left wing sites, and everything wasn't this most dumbed down version of the narrative. But now it is. And this is just a classic example of that. Like, it's just not relevant. Like, okay, maybe this guy should have a, misdemeanor charge. Okay, whatever. Like, that's not what we care about here. We obviously care about whether or not the shooting was justified. That's obviously what the news story is about. This is just an obfuscation. This is not at all relevant at all to the legality or illegality of what happened. Maybe you could say it like relates to the scale of the tragedy, but I don't even think it does, right? All this is showing is obviously someone who's very anti-ICE and willing to be vocal about it, and he does, destroy property. But again, it's like a week before. It doesn't factor into the case at all. But anyway, hope you did enjoy the video. I just wanted to say that I really think our discourse is just so stupid these days, and it's really, really frustrating to see sometimes. Anyway, hope you did enjoy the video. If you did, please subscribe down below. The sun is really getting my eyes. Hope you did enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one.